and welcome to Tech to Tech presented by Kaizen, where we will explore common cleaning questions and answers. This session has been pre-recorded and will include additional FAQs related to this specific topic at the end of the presentation. We hope it is 15 minutes well spent. Let's get started. I would like to introduce Kaizen Zone Charlie Pitarys.
Welcome. Today we're going to talk about descaling, uh, focused on industrial washers. So basically, what is the best methods and practices? So what does descale mean? Well, the water quality used combined with the soils that you are cleaning will cause scale to build up inside your machine. This happens predominantly in a spray and air type machine where after the machine is turned off, the walls of the machine will dry out overnight or over a weekend. And eventually over time, it's going to build up. So as this scale builds up, this is going to impact the machine's water flow, temperature, and performance. So descaling, also known as deliming or decalcifying, and depending on where you're from, is the name of what we call a deep cleaning process that removes this mineral buildup. This slide puts basically it's a number to it, and which shows that hard water is a leading contributor of scale buildup. So the water is formed Hard water is formed when the rainwater will percolate down through the soil through deposits of limestone, chalk, or gypsum. So as the water's percolating through, it's dissolving all this and putting it in solution. And now you're taking all this material, calcium, magnesium carbonates, bicarbonates, and sulfates, and this could all be in solution. And now if your water is poor quality and hard, as shown in this table, you're going to spray it on the inside of the washer. It's going to dry down and build up over time. A good way to feel that. I mean, it's good to have a number to put to it, like in this table, but you probably have experienced hard water yourself, even in your own home, where it takes a long time to rinse shampoo out of your hair, or when you're washing your hands in the sink, the soap, as you try to rinse it off, you get a slimy feeling. That's an indicator of the hard water quality, which it struggles to effectively dissolve the soap. So the scale can also reduce the life of the equipment. It's going to obviously raise the cost of heating the water. It's going to lower the efficiency of your water heaters and over time clog your pipes and your nozzles. Your pump life will be shortened. Your parts are going to come out spotty, and you can even damage your parts baskets and fixtures. And obviously, your parts are not going to be clean. Here's an example of an extreme buildup of scale inside of a pipe. And we've got a light scale buildup on the right hand photo, some scale inside a spray and air washer. And another example in there, we can see it's just a light buildup. We've seen worse conditions where it looks like you've been inside of a cave. You actually see, severe limestone buildup, like stalactites in a cave. The photo on the right, you can see this wash tank is cluttered with debris. More than likely, the wash filters are dirty and will need to be replaced as well. So you're going to need to spend some time to do this. It's going to take, you should put aside at least a day to effectively descale a washer. So a descaling solution, which is used to break down this buildup, is it's specifically formulated and made with safe and effective acids that's going to deep clean the washer. We use at Kaizen, we recommend and formulate a citric acid formulation. It is effective on all kinds of scale and rust buildup as well in other industrial soils. We typically do not recommend phosphoric acid formulas, although they can be used in most extreme circumstances. They're just too dangerous and bring in a lot more hazards to the people around it. So in many cases, it's not necessary. Citric acid formula will do just as well. It'll more than likely take a little bit longer when you're spraying the machine down and running your pumps and trying to do it with the citric acid formula, but it's a lot safer method. In many situations, if you regularly descale your washer, it may only take a couple of hours to clean it up, or in the most severe situations, it could take 4 hours or more of running the citric acid formula through the machine to descale the heavy buildup. So before we start, we've got to always follow some safety procedures. You're going to follow your facilities procedures for labeling the waste drums. Uh, you're going to reference the safety data sheet for any information that's used in the citric acid formula. And most importantly, you're going to wear the appropriate PPE, including safety glasses and chemical resistant gloves. Some supplies are going to be needed: a bristle brush, brass or nylon bristles. You may, depending on the type of machine you have too, you may have to get brushes that have extended handles to them. A telescoping inspection mirror. I like to have this around for inspecting the nozzles. You're going to need basically a garden hose with a spray nozzle attached to clean and rinse out everything when you're done. And like I mentioned earlier, at this time, it's going to be a good time when we're done this process to replace your wash pump filters. Last but not least, we're not going to forget the spray nozzles. You're going to use that inspection mirror to get in there and inspect the nozzles. Some are a lot easier to remove, like the one shown on the right, where it's a quick release type spray nozzle. You can easily take those off and flush them out of any debris. So here we have some frequently asked questions. The first one is, how often do I need to descale my machine? Well, as I mentioned earlier, a lot depends on the water quality. If you're using DI water, maybe once every other year. But if you're using a local water supply supplied by groundwater wells, and depending on where you are located, this local water supply can be hard. You contain high levels of mineral content. Is there a way to prevent or minimize scale? That's a good question. Yes, there is. It's going to take some more equipment on the backside of the washer. A deionized water system or reverse osmosis should be sourced, and it should be large enough for both wash and rinse stages. Also, at a minimum, you could use a water softener. However, we don't recommend the salt type ones that you would have at home. There are some newer systems that are saltless that you can source one of those. How do I dispose of the used descale solution? Well, the used citric acid solution can usually commingle with your spent wash soap solution. So it can follow that same waste stream. And whether you have it hauled off site, it should be no problem to do that. Also, by adding the citric acid formula, the lower pH of this will help reduce the pH of your alkaline soap material as well. So mixing it's going to be no problem. And the final question, is there a written procedure that I can follow? Yes, there is. Kaizen has put together a generic procedure that we can email you. Just email us at tech@kaizen.com, and we'd be happy to get that out to you. And that ends this tech to tech session, and I'm going to hand it back off to William.
Thanks, Charlie. And thank you all for watching this Tech to Tech session. If you would like to discuss this topic further or have any questions not answered in this session, please contact your local Kaizen regional manager or send an email to tech@kaizen.com, and we will have someone follow up with you as soon as possible. Do you want to have exclusive access to future content sent directly to your inbox, or do you know someone who would benefit from these sessions? If the answer is yes, just go to tech2tech.kaizen.com, fill out the subscription form. And if you like this video, be sure to follow us on our social media platforms for more expert cleaning content.